Organic Breeze with Shafat Ahmed Khan. Saturday 7 till 9 a.m. only on CII Radio.
I tell you, Lucky knows how to tease us, and he knows how to introduce a top guest. And there, for Rafeek, I think he had the right nazam there. But Rafeek said he's got a lot to talk about and a lot to say. But before I get to a world-renowned scholar, Rafeek Hassen, a comparative religion expert, the president of IFRI, and also, alhamdulillah, spiritual man. Let me read this correspondence that has come through. He says, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, CI Radio. My long-term station, haven't missed a breeze in years, Shafaz. Please forward to Dr. Sheikh Rafeek Hassen. Please share with the Ummah about what Saudi announced and shocked the world. Jazakallah Hafiz Hamza in KZN. You have the clip with you, Rafeek. I think it's something to do with NEOM, and you can see what this MBS has in store. And according to that commentary there, he says this man can rule the world, Rafeek. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. And tell me, how are you doing this fine, beautiful morning?
Alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and to your listenership.
Yes, sir, Rafeek, after going through that footage there, what's your views and what can you tell our brother here, Rafeek?
Yeah, Bismillah ar-Rahman wa-Hamda Rabbil Alameen wa salatu salam khataman nabiyyin wa ba'd. Well, for the benefit of the listeners, there was a clip that was sent and it's going around, but it's from a Christian, very hardcore, a Messianic Christian, and I'll explain the term Messianic Christian. He's, this new NEOM structure, this 170 kilometer stretch, state-of-the-art artificial intelligence structure that, MBS is building in Saudi Arabia. He wants to create something out of this world, a futuristic, maybe I may use the word, this futuristic building that will be the longest building ever built, 170 kilometer long building, but it will be a city it will be a city itself, right, kind of thing, with all the robots in there, and, it's like a Star Wars futuristic thing, but it won't be a dream, it will be a reality. That's what MBS is trying to achieve. That Christian person in this clip now, having said all that, is now accusing the MBS and say he may be the guy because according to, this Christian Messianic philosophy and thinking, and Messianic philosophy and thinking is, the end times, the Messiah arriving. That's why you get Messianic. Christians believe that the Messiah, Isa alayhi salam, will return. Muslims believe Isa alayhi salam, the Messiah, will return for the second time. And Jews are also waiting for a Messiah. But that Messiah is the first appearance of the Messiah. They did not accept Isa alayhi salam as the Messiah, so they missed the boat. But they are also, and all three feel it's imminent now. Although the Jews have the wrong concept of a Messiah still to come, when he already came, and it was Isa alayhi salam. Now, what he is saying, being a Christian, now, firstly, he described in detail in this video exactly, this out-of-the-world, futuristic city, 170 kilometer long buildings. The city is lengthwise. It's not spread out like how normally cities are in a square or in a circle. It's one long line, two buildings along each other, like a wall. It's a big wall structure, but it's a city within a city. Okay. What he's trying to say, this Christian man, he is trying to say that based on end times predictions in Revelations and in other verses of the Bible, that Dajjal, which we call as Dajjal, remember, from an Islamic perspective, the Dajjal will be ruling and controlling the world. He's trying to say that MBS will be so powerful after building this NEOM city that he will be able to rule the world. He'll have that kind of power with him that he can be ruling. So he's hinting, without saying it directly, I'm using Islamic terminology, that he'll be the Dajjal controlling the world, or in their terminology, he'll be the Antichrist. who will be controlling the world. Because he also says, in that clip, he says that MBS is going to put a flyover from Muslim is going to be in Riyadh in Saudi Arabia, and from there he's going to build an overhead passway kind of thing into Egypt, which is going to bypass Israel, right? And then he's talking about that story as well, and therefore they feel that this man will be the Antichrist, who is going to have so much power he could be ruling. He's not saying it is. He's not saying definitely he is. He say he could be. He say we don't know. We don't know until we know. In other words, he's trying to say we won't know until it happens or until it unfolds. So how do we look at this? That's the summary now I'm giving. There's lots more into it of, the gist and drift of that video clip. It's about 20 minutes long. Now, Brother Shafat, I want to bring in something obviously we're looking at it now from an Islamic perspective on CII. We have to look at it from that angle. For me, my take on this is I want to come to a hadith of the Prophet ﷺ, where the Quran speaks of Gog and Magog, Ya'juj and Ma'juj in two places, in Surah Al-Kahf as well, and in another ayat of the Quran when Gog and Magog are going to be released. And what is going to happen when they are released into the world is Ya'juj and Ma'juj. By the way, the Bible speaks of Gog and Magog as well, right? So there's parallels there, there's parallels of the Antichrist, who we call Dajjal. That kind of end-time messianic of predictions are there. It's in Christianity and in Islam. But I want to link this now that he spoke about MBS. But I'm not targeting it to MBS itself. The Prophet ﷺ, and I'm giving the gist of the hadith, where the Prophet ﷺ got up one night, right, in a very perturbed state, right, and he says, woe to the Arabs, woe to the Arabs. And then his beloved wife asked, Ya Rasul ﷺ, what's going on? He says, no, right now, the Gog and Magog have surpassed, have made a hole in that wall which Zulkarnain built. They are now, he got up and he's being shown by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, this is what he's telling his beloved wife, that, the wall is now broken, there's a hole, and Gog and Magog are transcending now. They are broken through that barrier. And then what he preceded with, woe to the Arabs, woe to the Arabs. Now this for me is very significant. It's another topic, and it's a very big topic. Who is this Gog and Magog? Right? It's another topic. But what it is showing, Brother Shafat, and this is something now, it's a hadith of the Prophet ﷺ, which means that the Gog and Magog have already been released in the time of the Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. That's what the hadith is saying, right? They have been already released. And if we also take the various experts who are researching this topic as to where was this wall, it is in the Caucasus, Afghanistan, around that side, in that area, where between the mountainous area of the Caucasus, the Black Sea and what have you, that's where Zulkarnain was, and that's where the wall was built. And so, which means they're coming now westwards. They are coming westwards through Europe and into Arabia. And the Prophet ﷺ said, woe to the Arabs, which means this Gog and Magog are going to run amok with the Arabs. The Arabs are going to be in the clutches of Gog and Magog. Now, this is already happening. And one scenario and one research will tell you that Gog and Magog is none other than America and Russia and these superpowers, opposing superpowers, Britain being one of them. And so, isn't it true, Brother Shafat? Isn't it a fact of history that after World War I and II, right? And World War I and II, again, that same school of thought says that Gog and Magog created World War I. They create mayhem. Because the Quran says when they are released, there'll be mayhem. These are Gog and Magog are plunderers. They are warmongers. They'll thrive on war and conflict. And isn't it true, after World War I and II, if we go with the theory of Gog and Magog behind World War I and II, then they took over. They are now, after World War I and II, they're controlling Saudi Arabia, the Muslim lands. Britain took over and colonized, Arabia, Jordan, Middle East. Is all they took over and they put their puppet regimes in there, and they are controlling them. And Gog and Magog is now controlling the Middle East, and you can see the conflicts that are going there. So this is, in a way, what there are some dots and arrows pointing to this end time. And Saudi's involvement, they're already in the clutches of Gog and Magog. We know very well. We always say, the Kaaba is there, the Black House is there, but the Saudis take instructions from the White House, from the Gog and Magog people, and so this is where we are sitting in now. So it's not any new news for us, those who know this. We've been long saying that Saudi has been in the clutches of the superpowers, and they are controlling them, and they have an agenda which is not agenda for the Muslim world, but it is agenda that's, furthering the aims of the superpowers, who are the anti-God powers, who are the Gog and Magog people, and they are going to work in codes with Dajjal when he comes, and many say Israel is the Dajjal. So everything is leading up to this one world government. It's all part of the big plan where that one man who will be the Dajjal will be ruling the world.
Rafeek, absolutely brilliant. The Quran comes up within a few seconds, but your information is so brilliant that it will take us some hour or two or even 3 hours to digest it. Allah keep you, Allah bless you for that. Ameen. And inshallah, you're going to have a mashallah beautiful day ahead. We'll talk to you soon. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.